श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः Okay, Madhavi. We'll chant from 36. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Atha kena prayuktoyam.
Atha kena prayuktoyam.
Papam charati purushaha.
Papam charati purushaha.
Anichannapi varshneya.
Anichannapi varshneya.
Baladiva niyojitaha.
Baladiva niyojitaha.
Shri Bhagavan
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Kama esha krodha eshaha.
Kama esha krodha eshaha.
Rajo guna samudbhavaha.
Rajo guna samudbhavaha.
Mahashano mahapapma.
Mahashano mahapapma.
Vidhyena miha vairinam.
Vidhyena miha vairinam.
Dhumena vriyate vannihi.
Dhumena vriyate vanhi.
Yatha darsho malena cha.
Yatha darsho malena cha.
Yathol bena vruto garbhaha.
Yathol bena vruto garbhaha.
Tatha tenedamavrutam.
Tatha tenedamavrutam.
Avrutam jnanametena.
Avrutam jnanametena.
Jnanino nityavairina
Jnanino nityavairina.
kamarupena kaunteya
Kamarupena kaunteya.
dushpurena nalena cha
Dushpurena nalena cha.
indriyani mano buddhihi
Indriyani mano buddhihi.
asyadhisthanamuchyate
Astadhisthanamuchyate.
asyadhisthanamuchyate
Asyadhisthanamuchyate.
एतैर्विमोहयत्येषः
एतैर्विमोहत् एतैर्विमोहयत्येषः
ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम्.
ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम्.
Yeah. So in chapter 3, chapter 3 was started by Arjuna's question, and it's also going to end with Krishna answering Arjuna's one question. So Arjuna's question number 36, what makes a person do things that are detrimental to himself, herself, and commit these acts which the person regrets later on. And so 37, 38, 39, kama yesha krodha yesha. Kamaha. Finally, Krishna is saying kamaha. This desire you have to watch out. And desire is a blessing, but it can also, you can also fall victim to desire. That's why in our Puranas we have stories, and they will talk about a story where the rishi and the goddess comes in the form of a beautiful woman, and then checks out the rishi, and this fellow is meditating and all that, all bearded and all meditating, and then she comes, and now this fellow, what is this guy going to do? That is the test. This is a test of one's maturity, one's understanding. And then the rishi keeps following her, gets lost. And at home, wife is waiting and he is not available. And this fellow has ended up somewhere else. And so these stories you see a lot. So kama yeshaha, kama yeshaha. So for him, kama. And then suddenly she vanishes, the goddess. And then what happens? Furious. Krodha yeshaha. This fellow is furious. How can she disappear like this? So that's we see those kinds of stories. So he says, just like the smoke covers the fire, we saw all that. Like that, this kamaha will cover this knowledge that we have, dharma, adharma, viveka. We all of us have that viveka, and it just deludes, it covers us. Like that, he mentioned. And we were at shloka number 40, and where this Krishna was talking about where is this kama located. So I want to deal with kama, so show me where it is, and I'll go after the kama. Okay, this kama has been ruining my life, so I want to go after kama. So tell me more about kama. Where is it? So last class we mentioned the example of how the law enforcement, they kind of keep track of who's who among the underworld, among the dark world, who's who. Not the who's who that is there in the book and the Guinness Book of World Records and all that. No, not that who's who. The different kinds of who's who they have, that kind of book. And Swami Paramarthanandaji gives a different example. He says, a country has bases. America will have bases. This military bases in different parts of the world. And why do you need military bases? Well, in order for you to operate, and you need bases which are filled with, all the aircraft, all the equipment of fuel, and all these things must be there, so that it is almost like a country, almost like a mini country, from where you can do your operations. And like that, Israel has bases, and so that they can operate, they can uh, they can execute their military operations. So like that, those bases. And then in a war, what they do, they identify bases. You have to identify the enemy's bases, and if you destroy the enemy's bases, then you have finished them off, because no more fuel coming, everything is burning, and all aircraft, everything is burning. So targeting bases, and that's the example Swami Paramarthananda gives. And ISI, Pakistan ISI, they have bases in India. And it's not like they're operating from Pakistan. They're operating from India itself. Key is to identify those bases and then knock them down. So same way here also. Where is this karma located? Where is this desire located? And everything is located in atma. Atma is what provides the oxygen for everything. Okay, finally, atma, without atma, nothing exists. Atma provides the existence. Sat, it provides it existence. It provides consciousness. Chit, Sat, Chit, it provides. But Atma is free from attributes. It doesn't have any attributes whatsoever. And so, if it did, then Atma would have combined with Kama, and then the mixture would be formed, and it would be an inseparable mixture. But at the same time, Atma just goes along with Kama. And so we cannot blame Atma for the Kama. Atma provides sustenance for everything in this world, including my body, mind, senses, and so forth. So we can, so we are not going to, there is nothing Atma can do. Poor Atma, it's always there. And it supports Kama also, it supports Viveka also, it supports everything. So then the question here is, first Krishna says, Indriyani. See, asya adhishtanam uchyate. Asya means of this kama, adhishtanam, location, uchyate is said. The location of kama is said to be, what are the locations? Indriyani, manaha, buddhihi. He gives 3 words there. So these 3 are the places where kama is located. Okay. Indriyani. Earlier we said Indriyas are simply, they give you data. And so you cannot really blame your sense organs. But here he says karma is located in the Indriyas. Which actually, our people who market all our consumer products and things like that, they know very well Indriyani, because they want to target your senses. Whether we know it or not, they know Bhagavad Gita, it seems, because they target. They say, we just have to make sure we just put that message through the ears and through the eyes. That's why you're watching your favorite show, and suddenly intermission. Okay, what do you call it? Advertisement. And advertisement. And suddenly the whole scene changes. You are watching a show. There is something called Shankara TV here. And nice shows are going on. Swami Omkarananda ji is talking. We have so much opportunity here to listen to all this. Suddenly, from Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, the scene shifts. It shifts to some advertisement, car. And car is going, and you don't know if it is you don't know yet if it is an advertisement for a car, or is it some advertisement for a shampoo, because there is a lady and then the shampoo hair is just going back. You don't know. They keep you guessing also, suspense. Even an advertisement, there can be suspense, or you don't know, there's a guy next to her, And so you don't know if it is for a shaving cream or shaver or something like that. So it's all happening. Seconds are all ticking and you're not guessing. Suddenly audio. So audio, visual. Okay. And already Omkarananda ji is gone. Bhagavad Gita ji is gone. But all this gone. Upanishad is gone. And all values and all that. She's a great speaker and all that is gone. 10 seconds is all it takes. It's all gone. 10 seconds. It's all gone. And then what? Then some advertisement happens. Volkswagen, drivers wanted. Catchy. You know, that slogan is so important for these guys. Slogan is so important. Drivers wanted. And then you say, wow. Wow. Okay. Then Omkarandaji continues. Bhagavad Gita continues. Then next advertisement. Then all this makeup, you know, and I don't know if I should say all this. Maybelline comes to my mind. Years ago, decades ago, I remember this advertisement. Maybelline. I don't know if the product is there or not, but it's all this lipstick and the cosmetics that people use. So Maybelline. What about Maybelline? And all just 15 seconds. That's all. Everything is over in 15 seconds. Okay. Don't think it's some big movie and all that. No, 15 seconds. And a lot of action is there and ladies moving back and forth and showing the lips and all that. And then maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Okay. And then you go, my God. And then Bhagavad Gita. And then what? And then again, maybe it's Maybelline. Then it's over. Then something else happens. You watch news. Then there's some other channel, news channel again. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe she's born with it. And that's it. Within a couple of days, it's gone inside. Indriyaha. It's gone inside. And like this, you've got all the Nike. Just do it. That slogan is enough. Whether the Nike shoes are good, I mean, I think the quality must be good. But slogan, so important. Vidal Sassoon. If you don't look good, we don't look good. Correct? Like this, I remember some advertisements. Burger King, Taste King, like that. So this is how my mind used to work. they think they think I'm going to buy Heads and Shoulders shampoo, but I'm thinking differently. So this is how it works. They want to put it inside, and for that your eyes should be open, ears should be open. So they make sure it's open. And another thing they make sure these days, when the advertisement comes, the volume goes up. How many of you have noticed that? I hope you have noticed that. Yeah. And it just doubles in volume. I said, what? You have forced you. Thankfully, there's a remote. These days, you don't have to walk to the television, Yeah, remote, mute. Otherwise, what happens? You thought this 2 minutes, 3 minutes into advertisement, you can do something. Yeah, you can go wherever you want in your house, but the advertisement is screaming. There's no way you can miss it. And so they make sure Indriyani asya adhishtanam uchyate. These people know that. And then what happens? Then the mind says, great job, sense organs, Indriyani, great job, I'll take over. It's like a relay race. And Indriyani passes the baton to the mind. Mind says, I'll take over now. Don't worry. Then you're going for a walk. You're going somewhere. There's no connection between TV and that. Then you're thinking. Then suddenly you're humming. Maybe she's born with it. You saw somebody and then maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Now you start humming this and it becomes a raga. It becomes your favorite song also. And means what? It's gone right inside. It has given birth and it started sprouting. Now it's only a matter of time before you go to the mall and then guess what product is going to be, is what you're going to buy. And maybe it's Maybelline. And it only says Maybelline there, but then the whole advertisement is just replaying in the mind. So the mind says, I'll take over, don't worry. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha, like that. So that story continues. Same thing here also. And so it doesn't, not just television. You go outside, you visited your friend in Mumbai, and then went to a big mall. And then you come back to Coimbatore after that visit, and then you were so impressed by that mall, and it's all bright and so many things to see in this mall. Never been so there before. And then Coimbatore, Google mall. Where are all our malls? And then you find there we have some malls too. Coimbatore, there is something called Brookfields Mall. And so then you go to the Brookfields Mall. Why? Because it's interesting. It's a nice place to be. And so this is how it works. So Indriyani, and then Manaha, and then what? Buddhihi. Krishna brings in Buddhi also. Why? Because Buddhi is supposed to be a responsible faculty, responsible entity. Finally, Buddhi decides whether to do this or that. Buddhi only decides. The Manas also depends on the Buddhi. Manas has done all these things. Indriyani has done all these things. The data processing, finally, the decision maker. Should I go to the mall or not? The person can say, I don't really need anything. Why should I go to the mall? That question we can ask. So therefore Buddhi is involved. Buddhi has to make the decision, and that Buddhi cannot, Buddhi is also responsible for what we do. Final decisions are coming from here. Therefore Buddhi can say, hey, you're studying Bhagavad Gita, you know the objects are not a source of joy, objects are not a source of sorrow. Guruji told you all that. Bhagavan Sri Krishna has been telling you all along. Nitya Vairina, like that and all, Vairi, enemy and all has been said. Indriyasyarthe, Ragadvesho, Vyavasthitau, Tayorna, Vashamagachet. Don't come under their spell. Tauhi asya paripanthi. They are your enemies. Buddhi can say all that. So, that's the job of the Buddhi. And is the Buddhi going to do that? So, Buddhi says, Are chalega. That is 6:30 in the morning, Bhagavad Gita. This is 6:30 in the evening. What is the connection between this? 12 hours are over. Buddhi, that's the Buddhi. It's all right. So even though I don't need to buy anything, let's go, So Buddhi goes along with the mind. And so that's how it is. That's how life is. And so objects are there. So I purchased all these things. Next day, after some time, I want to sell all these things. That's why they have in America, they have something called garage sale. Here, you don't find those things. Very interesting. In India, they don't. That tradition is not there yet. Maybe it is there in some places, but I see occasionally. But in America, it's not like that. Called garage sale means you don't have to go anywhere. All you have to do, you have a car, and the car is sitting in a garage. So that's you put all your things in that garage. Take your car out, and then there is a lot of space. And then in that space, put some tables and put whatever you want to give away. Put some price on each of those things and announce garage sale 2355 Hidden Trail Lane. Okay, that's it. Whatever, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday or Sunday. Doesn't matter. Because you have the time, and whoever wants to come can come. And so here's the thing. If this object was supposed to give you joy, it did give you joy. But now that same object you are willing to let go. And so it's not giving you joy anymore. You get joy in giving up the object. And there is somebody else who's getting joy, who's about to get joy from that same object and about to part with some money and take it home. So it's very obvious. No object can can make us happy, no object can make us sad. That kind of Viveka is needed. So therefore, why Krishna is saying this? Well, so now let's see, what can we do then? What can we do about this? Knowing this, what can we do? So we clearly have to be careful in the sense, okay, if my senses, if karma resides in the senses, like Krishna says, then we can exercise control, and we can say enough long before something is entered. Some TV show is going on, I can stay away from it. These three monkeys come to my mind, and at least the two of the three monkeys, and and then I think close the mouth also. So, and I don't know how they came up with all these things. My goodness, I need to find out more about these three monkeys, and why monkeys, and why they. It's kind of just suddenly it came to me. Um, so, so I can choose to do this. I can choose to do this. No, it's not for me. So that's one way, and so the first step is called Damaha. Damaha. Damaha means no, I don't need it, or I really have to eat. I really have to have my medicines. It's very nauseating to have these medicines, because some of these medicines never taste good. I don't know why don't make medicines that taste good. We say we are a very progressive society and all that, but why why is it always what is this progress without tasty medicines? So it's all painful, it's all pungent, it's so nauseating, and so no, I must have it. It's good for me, I need to take it. Okay, so all this kashayas, even Ayurveda kashayas are not so tasty at all, and the real tasty ones, the churnams, they have a lot of ghee in it. So what do? You have a lot of cholesterol and all, what do you do? And sugar also, they put sugar also in it, or some sweet will be there. So you can't, because they'll put all this dates and so on and so forth. Then what do you do? So the tasty ones, tasty medicines are very rare. You're lucky if the doctor prescribes you tasty medicine and then it works, and that's a very good situation to be in. So Damaha, senses, and using your free will and say no, or just do it. Nike, just do it. That is Damaha. That is Damaha. Mastery of the senses. Tattvabodha. What does Tattvabodhakara say about Damaha? Indriya Nigraha. Those who studied Tattvabodha. Indriya Nigraha. Mastery of senses. Okay. So that is the first step. Then what? This Maybelline has gone inside the head, and it's playing, replaying. Then then it's gone too far. So you've got to think it over. You got to use the buddhi, and you got to think it over, and you have to deliberate. No, no, I don't need it. No, I mean, that's just an example. Any other example you can give? And no, you're standing right there in front of the sweet. The in India's, our Indian sweet stores. So there are way too many of them. And these days, bakery. Every other store is a bakery, and I don't know what happened. This tells me that people are consuming a lot of this, because bakeries, every corner there is something called a bakery, and I think it sells like hotcakes. I think cakes sells like hotcakes. That's the thing I should remember. Okay, so you can always say, deliberate and say, this is bring in all your knowledge of medicine and diabetes and your doctor's visits and this and that, and say, okay, now that's fine, we'll pass this time, let's go home and review my Bhagavad Gita notes, that you can say. So shama is there. Shama is needed in order to deliberate over things. The deliberation is called shama. And we talked about it earlier also. Adhikaritvam, preparedness for studying Vedanta, same thing. So that Dhamma is coming, Shama is coming. So Indriyani, Damaha. Correct? Indriyani. Mastery of the senses is Dhamma. Saying no and grit your teeth. That is called gritting the teeth is called Dhamma. And then Shama. Indriyani, Manaha. Manaha, deliberation. Shama. Then what? Buddhihi. Buddhihi, decision faculty. Yeah, Viveka. Viveka. Bring back. Hey, right, wrong, to be done, not to be done. Too much of a thing. It's not, I don't need that kind of thing. This is gone too far. So Buddhihi, bring that Viveka in, right, wrong idea in, and everything, all the things we know about ourselves, about the world, everything you bring in. That is Viveka. And bring Vedanta in also. Because atma anatma viveka, that also is important. We need to bring that. And so Indriyani manobuddhihi asya adhishtanam uchyate etaihi vimohayati yeshaha jnanam avritya dehinam. Look at that. What is the main sentence? First sentence is over. Indriyani manobuddhihi asya adhishtanam uchyate. Okay, the location of this kama is these three. Then what? Yeshaha, that is a subject. Yeshaha. So let me split this word here. Etaihi vimohayati eshaha jnanam avritya dehinam. Okay. What is the main sentence? Yeshaha means this. This means what? This desire, yeshaha kamaha. Correct? Yeshaha kamaha dehinam vimohayati. Dehinam vimohayati. This dehinam means what? Dehi. Dehi means this person. Purushaha. Manushyaha. Dehinam. Manushyam. Purusham. Yeshaha kamaha. Purusham. Vimohayati. Deludes. Vimohayati means completely deludes. Mohayati deludes. Vimohayati just takes one for a ride. Vimohayati. So that's the main sentence. This kama takes the person for a ride. That's what it is. By what? Etaihi. By these. Etaihi. Etaihi means by these indriyas, by this manaha, and by this buddhi. Takes a person for a ride. Takes a person for a ride. How? Jnanam avritya. Jnanam avritya. Avritaha. Same word avritaha before also. We've seen this must be the third time, I think. So yeah, in 39 I see the shloka begins with avritam, and then in 38 there is dhumena avriyate, and second line of that shloka yatholbena avritaha. So the word avrita has come already 3 times before. So this is the 4th time. So jnanam avritya, covering one's knowledge. Covering one's knowledge, because knowledge is what? Knowledge is power, they say. Why? Because knowledge is true to what is. And so knowledge is what is needed. Knowledge about everything in the world and knowledge about atma, everything. So that knowledge is covered. And so he's giving a clue that the karma deludes the person by covering his or her wisdom, knowledge. Okay. So let's translate the shloka. Its location is said to be asya adhishtanam uchyate. Okay, its location. Within brackets for its, you can say of the desire. Desire's location, kama's location, is said to be the senses, mind, and intellect. Indriyani, manaha, buddhihi. Okay, its location is said to be the senses, mind, and intellect. Full stop. With these, etaihi, with these, it, eshaha, it, within brackets, kama, desire. So with these comma, it, kama. So this comma and kama, the Paramarthanandaji's statement comes to me. So it deludes the person, dehinam vimohayati. It deludes the person, dehinam vimohayati, or eshaha dehinam vimohayati, by covering wisdom. By covering wisdom. Before that, you should say his or her wisdom or knowledge. By covering his or her wisdom. Wisdom seems more consistent with common usage here. Okay. So its location is said to be the senses, mind, and intellect. Full stop. With these, comma, it deludes the person by covering his or her wisdom. So because kama, the word kama was introduced, so he is using a pronoun, it, etc. Okay. Now let's look at shloka number 41. Okay. Parvati. Yeah. Tasmat.
Tasmat.
Tvam.
Tasmat.
Tvam.
Tvam.
Indriyani.
Tvam. Indriyani.
Adau.
Adau.
Okay. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the internet seems to be slow.
Okay.
That's all. Okay. Niyamya.
Niyamya.
Bharatarshabha.
Haradarsham.
Papmanam.
Papmanam.
Prajahi hyenam.
Prajahi hyenam.
Jnana vijnana.
Jnana vijnana.
Nashanam.
Nashanam.
Tasmat tvamindriyan yadau.
Tasmat tvamindriyanyadau.
Niyamya bharatarshabha.
Niyamya bharadarsha.
Papmanam prajahi hyenam.
Papmanam prajahi hyenam.
Jnana vijnana nashanam.
Jnana vijnana nashanam.
Yeah. So tasmat. Tasmat is a word, means therefore. So therefore, when Krishna says, it means Krishna is concluding the thought. Therefore, some logic is there. Everything I've explained to you. Therefore, so conclusion of that. Conclusion of the answer to Krishna, Arjuna's question. Okay. Let's see what he says. So, key verb here is prajahi. Prajahi. Second line. Second word in the second line. Prajahi. Papmanam prajahi. Prajahi. Prajahi means give up. Give up. Very strong word. Tasmat, therefore, give up. And hey, wait a minute. I want to destroy this karma. I want to target this karma because it's ruined my life. Okay, good. So the way to destroy it is give up, he says. Don't look for a gun, and you give up. Give up the desire, easily. Krishna says it so easily, prajahi kyenam. And so that is the way, that is the only way to destroy this kama. And and Bhagavan Shankaracharya also begins his commentary by saying that give up prajahi. Destruction is in the sense of giving up. There is no other type of destruction. And so how do I give up? Well, not difficult. As long as I need to see a distance between me and my raga and my kama. The distance has to be there. Means, hey, I am the master. The desire is meant for me. I am not the desire. I have a desire. Somebody gives me a knife. Desire is like a knife. I can use it when I want to. I know when to use it, when not to use it. Correct? I know where to keep the knife. I can't keep it wherever I want. There are children moving around in the house. No, I have to keep it in a safe place so it doesn't get into the wrong hands. All this I know. So kama, desire is, without desire you can't lead a life also. So here is referring to binding desires. He's not referring to every desire. Every desire cannot be given up. So you get up because there's a desire to get up. Otherwise you can't get up. You have to clean up yourself in the morning. Desire. Everything is based on desire. So don't take it literally for all desires. Binding desires. Our problem is not any desire. Our problem is the desires that bind us, that victimize us. So that's the desire that we are talking about here. And so therefore, I create a distance between me and my desire. That's why we do meditation. That's why we do all this puja and prarthana. And so kama yesha, krodha yesha. This is kama, he says. So therefore, there is a distance that is already created. Hey, it's kama. And you can see your own desire. If I can see my desire, that means I'm different from the desire. I don't have to be consumed by the desire. I don't have to satisfy every desire I have. It's there. Desire is there. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. This human mind has been blessed with the ability to desire. And it's a blessing. That's all. And nowhere it says I must satisfy all my desires. So that practice of Dhamma and Shama we talked about earlier, and we bring in here. Shama, use Dhamma, use that, just use that free will and say no. And that is Dhamma. Or think through Shama, think through what is right, wrong. If I'm getting caught up in something, think through what's right, wrong. And in terms of addictions and things like that, smoking and alcoholism and all that may not be enough, because it's an addiction. And simply saying no and all that won't work. And the hand reaches out, the hand goes for the bottle, and then what do? It's tough. And so take the help of people. Take the help of people immediately. Admit it. Hey, I'm getting lost. I need help. The minute you say I need help, that's it. Half the battle is won. Half the battle is won. Then it's a matter of time before a solution comes. And so do whatever it takes. And what is this kama? So prajahi, okay, prajahi means give up. And give up what? Enam. So look at the second line. Papmanam prajahi hi enam. Okay. So indeed, he means indeed. Enam means this. Give up this. Enam prajahi. Give up this. This of course means kamaha. Enam kamam prajahi. Okay. And that kama is given another word here. Papmanam. Papma. Kama is a sinner. He's a papi. He says he's a papi. Kama is a papi. Papi means one who is just does acts of papa. That's it. That person is called a papi. And so Krishna is using the word papi for the kama here. And why is he a papi? Because he is robbing me of my knowledge. He is anybody who a thief. A thief is a papi, and one who takes away things that belong to me is a papi. And so here the kama, same kama, takes away my viveka, takes away my buddhi. Hey, buddhi belongs to me. I know what is right, what is wrong, what is to be done, what is not to be done. Everything I know. And still, kama has the power to rob that from me. Therefore, papi. And what does it rob? Jnana vijnana nashana. Okay, jnana vijnana nashana. Look at that. This kama is a destroyer of jnanam and vijnanam. That is what he's saying. So now we need to understand these words. Jnana vijnana nashana. Jnanam. In our common life, jnanam is dharma, adharma, viveka. Knowledge of what is right and wrong. What is to be done, what is not to be done. All of us have that. That knowledge is knowledge and vijnanam. Then you can go to the next level. Atma, anatma, viveka. Okay. Studying Bhagavad Gita. And because that is the context here. Studying Bhagavad Gita, I have now an idea of atma, which is different from anatma. I know what anatma is. I know there is something called atma. I know there is something called atma. That is called jnanam. I don't know clearly yet, but I do know atma is there. I'm in the process of knowing it clearly, but atma is there. I know a lot about atma. I know that atma is all pervasive. I know everybody's atma is the same atma. I know there are not many atmas out there. Jivatmas may be many, but atma is one. All this I know. That is called knowledge, jnana. It's called paroksha jnana. Paroksha jnana means what? I know there is atma as something, that's all, as a thing. What about vijnanam? Vijnanam means I have understood the atma as myself. This atma that I have been studying so far, I understand it as myself. And that knowledge is crystal clear. And so there is no longer that atma. It is I atma. I am that atma. Very crystal clear. That is called vijnana. So he says kama. Kama is a destroyer of that knowledge. And so earlier I said that jnanam is paroksha jnanam. Here vijnanam is aparoksha jnanam. These two technical words, I had mentioned it earlier. Paroksha means something that's away from me. Paroksha. Anything that's away from me is paroksha. Which means the entire cosmos, everything in this world, every planet, every other person, every object, every tree, everything is away from me. It's all paroksha. What about the body? Is it paroksha or aparoksha? Body, paroksha or aparoksha? Paroksha, it's not me. It's not me. Okay. Paroksha. What about the mind and senses? Paroksha. Then when I understand atma is myself, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the kama, I am not my senses, then that atma I is aparoksha jnanam. This is what Vedanta teaches us. That we are not learning about some God who is sitting somewhere. That God also can come. If the God challenges me and asks me who am I will tell him, I am not different than who you are. Okay. Do I have the confidence to say that? Or will I shiver when Shiva comes? Shiva comes means what will you do if Shiva comes suddenly? We have to imagine all these things. And will I shake or what? Or will I be happy? What will happen to me? And to Namaskar, so happy you're here. What made you come here? What can I do for you? Do I have the courage to say, what can I do for you? That is Vijnanam. Or will I say, thank God you're here. I was wondering, when will you come? See, my life is in shambles. Do something. What will I say? That only tells me, that defines the difference between Jnanam and Vijnanam. Okay. So that's, Vijay asked in one of the satsangs, I think, how will you know that you know? How will you know that you know? So you don't need anybody's approval. You will know that you know. And how do you know that you know mathematics? No, I got good marks when I studied in school. I passed my school and college and all. That's the proof that you know mathematics. Well, that's really not proof. That's not proof. Especially in India, college certificate is not proof at all. Really, I'm telling you, it's very sad. And they will manufacture anything in India. So that's not proof. So the proof is there in you. You have to decide whether you know math or not. And exams are all there. All that is just some external signs to, we need a system to move forward. And that's why we have all these things. But so same thing here also. Jnanam, Vijnanam. When Vijnanam is there, I am crystal clear about what? Atma is imperishable. And that imperishable Atma is me. Can I say that confidently? And fear doesn't exist. There is no such thing as fear. Body will perish. Body will suffer. There will be pain in the body, no doubt. But Atma, am I in pain or the body is painful? Am I clear about that? When pain comes, what will be my response? Am I going to panic? Or am I going to do whatever is to be done and then take whatever comes as prasada? All these things come to me, and that is Vijnanam. And he says, Kama has the ability to destroy all this Vijnanam and Jnanam. That is the adjective he's using. It's an adjective, really. Enam is the noun, and then Jnana, Vijnana, Nashanam is an adjective to that Kama. Correct? And so, that knowledge is that we all have the capacity, capability to employ is not there. When I was applying, when I finished my PhD, I wanted to join a university to become a faculty member. So, so I was looking up, all the universities, what they do, and departments, professors, all this research I was doing. And if you are into research, there's one more thing you have to do. You have to apply for grants, for money from all these agencies, and then depending on which field you are, Food and Drug Administration or this organization, government organization, private organization, so many things are there. I used to study up all that. And then what about other universities? What kind of grants they have, like that I was seeing. So I read an article along the way, and the article, people were complaining that education in MIT is Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. And we also have an MIT here. It's called Madras Institute of Technology. In those days, it was a very, very reputed school. I don't know how it is today. Must be good, I think. And so this MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, undergraduate school fees are very high. That was the complaint. And you know what the chancellor, the head of the university said? So you think education is expensive? Then try ignorance. Try ignorance. So if you are unhappy about knowledge being expensive, then try ignorance, he said. I mean, I don't know how that answer went with all the people who complained, but I think he caught on a very important fact that you can give up anything for knowledge. That is the idea. That's what he was trying to say. And so here, therefore here, use Dhamma, use Shama, Dhamma and Shama. So mastery of the sense organs and mastery of the mind. So use all that, use your buddhi to deal with this karma. Don't take it lightly. Very interesting. In America, the entire outlook is different. Desire means, your wish has to be fulfilled. You have the right to fulfill your desire, is it not? It's a right, human right. I don't know, human right, yeah. Nobody can deny you anything. Even the doctor cannot say, sugar is 390, okay, random sugar test, okay, 390. That number I came because somebody here had that number. So 390. 390. Now what kind of response will you tell that person? Amma, look, fasting should be near 100, okay? And then post lunch, 1.5 hours after lunch, it should be around 140, 150, 160. Okay, 200 is also fine. 220, okay, that also is fine. 250, okay. 390 is not a good sign. I think you should see the doctor, So, so like this, so much knowledge is there, and yet we get caught up in so many things. And so here, look at that. What Krishna says is, Tasmat Tvam Indriyani Adau Niyamya Bharatarshaba. Hey Bharatarshaba, hey Arjuna, Tasmat, therefore, knowing so much about Kama, Niyamya, having mastered, Niyamya, Yam dhatu, Sanskrit students, Yam dhatu. Yam means apariveshane. Not meaning of yam. If you look at dhatu pata, yam meaning, it says apariveshane. Apariveshane means, pariveshana means catering, giving. Apariveshane, fasting, avoiding. Okay, look at the meaning. This Sanskrit is just too amazing. And another meaning they give, uparame. Uparame means to stop, to master, to gain a mastery over something. It's called uparamaha. So that yam, niyamya, having mastered what? Indriyani, sense organs. Okay, having mastered your sense organs, when adau means in the beginning. Hey Arjuna, therefore, having mastered your senses in the beginning. What is this in the beginning? Well, you've got senses, then you've got the mind, then you've got the buddhi. Therefore, first start with the senses. Do the monkey show. No, I'm not going to watch this. That's it, over. I'm going to move away from this. That is easy to do, because not much thinking is needed for that. Okay, you can just pull yourself away. It's called Indriyani. So Indriyani niyamya. And then what? Adho, in the beginning. So it means what? Start with the sense organs, then focus on your mind, then come to the buddhi. Start with Dhamma, then Shama, then Viveka. And so Adho, in the beginning. And then Papmanam, Prajahi, Hyenam, Jnana, Vijnana, Nashanam. And people come from the US to India, and then we think they're coming for a vacation. And then they say, I'm working from home. That's it. This is working from home. has become, everybody knows now. It is no longer everybody, people, 90-year-old people, all that, our grandfathers, grandmothers, everybody know that word, work from home. And work from home, they like it, why? Because my grandson is at home. They love this work from home. It's a joy for all grandparents. Oh my God. And you should see the smiles in their faces. And the one boy in a complex nearby, and that lady told me, oh, my son is leaving, she said. My grandson is leaving, she said. And she was not sad. She did not appear sad. Can you believe it? A grandmother not feeling sad that the son is leaving. That's because he's been there 9 months. He's been there. He's in Manipal University. He's a college, going to college. And so they had their hearts content. Can anybody, can a wish like this be fulfilled in any life, in anybody's janma? I don't think so. But what about the person who is working from home? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, there's a baby also has to be taken care, and very tough. And but anyway, they come from abroad, they come here, work from home. So internet. And so how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? Is there a way in which we can say, we can put some boundaries on it? Don't know. It seems like a tough thing. And some people are good at it. And but others get carried away. Because the computer is there and you can always just connect, and then you are working. And some people completely, they don't know what they're getting into. And I think some of the younger generation must be told about these things. And otherwise, they love to do what they do, right? Nothing wrong. And they have the energy and they can work. Nothing wrong with that. We're not saying these things are wrong. We are just saying, if it becomes a habit and you don't get trapped in a system like that, and put boundaries, learn to put boundaries. The boss is always there. He'll call you at 9 p.m. Do you have to, are you going to pick up the phone or not? First question. First question. And then, should I pick up the phone? Then second, if I pick up the phone, what am I going to say? Okay. And he's going to make me do something. What am I going to say? Tough questions. So anyway, let's translate the shloka. And therefore, tasmat, comma, Arjuna, comma, Bharata Rishabha means the foremost in the lineage of Bharata. The foremost in the lineage of Bharata. Controlling the senses at the outset, or mastering the senses at the outset. Indriyani adau niyamya. Mastering the senses at the outset, comma, destroy indeed this sinner, in quotes, sinner. Destroy indeed this sinner. Yenam papmanam hi prajahi. Prajahi is a verb. Prajahi is madhyama purusha ekavachanam. And the dhatu is, I have to figure out what that is. Anyway, destroy indeed this sinner, comma. What kind of sinner? The one who is a destroyer of knowledge and wisdom. Destroy this sinner, which means within brackets, karma, who is the destroyer of knowledge and wisdom. Very strong words. Destroyer of knowledge and wisdom. Look at that. We normally don't use the word destroy in our day-to-day conversations, And so, therefore, Arjuna, the foremost in the lineage of Bharata, mastering the senses at the outset, that means in the beginning, comma, destroy indeed this sinner, comma, the destroyer of knowledge and wisdom. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. You can stop the recording.